Overseas military and federal absentee voters have 10 days after the primary election to send their votes in. After counting those votes, the chairman of the Benton County Election Commission certifies those votes. There is only one race in Benton County that went to a runoff, and that is for county sheriff. Russell Anzalone with the Benton County Election Commission explains why there is a runoff.
We have two individuals that came up with the most number of votes, and no one had over 50% of the votes. That's why we had to have a runoff.
The two candidates left are Sean Holloway and Paul Pilaro. I spoke with both of them today to see how they are preparing for the election.
Well, you know, the runoff, we haven't done much different than we've done the entire campaign. You know, been out here knocking on door to door, trying to meet more citizens and voters and listen to the message that the voters and the citizens of our community want out of their sheriff's office.
Paul Pilaro was unavailable for an on-camera interview, but told me that he was reaching out to the community and trying to spread his message. He said he will be prepared for the runoff election. Early voting for the runoff election begins next Monday, and Election Day is on the 22nd. Live in Bentonville, Chris Swain, 4029 News.
Okay, Chris, and whichever candidate wins the runoff will face independent Glenn Latham this November.
In the race for the White House this weekend, Republican delegates will be decided in Washington, D.C. and Wyoming. And then next Tuesday, the big day, both parties look forward to the day when voters in 5 states will decide who should be the nominee. In Florida, Illinois, and Ohio, all the delegates will go to the top candidates. Today, another former candidate for president has announced his support for Donald Trump. Dr. Ben Carson endorsed Trump for president today in Florida. He joins another former candidate, Chris Christie, calling Trump the best candidate for the Republican nomination. Carson addressed thoughts about the heated words between the two candidates last fall.
I do recognize that it is a part of the process. We move on because it's not about me. It's not about Mr. Trump. It's about America.
It's such an honor to have Ben. He's a friend. He's become a friend, and I really appreciate the endorsement, Ben. Thank you. Any questions, folks?
Today, rival Marco Rubio called on voters in Florida and Ohio to stop the Trump train by voting for himself in Florida and John Kasich in Ohio.
Hillary Clinton took today off of campaigning. She spent the day paying her respects at Nancy Reagan's funeral. Rival Bernie Sanders spent the day asking voters in North Carolina to deliver another upset.
Everybody had agreed that Hillary Clinton was the sure winner of Michigan, maybe 20 points, maybe 30 points.
And in the polls right now, Clinton is the projected leader in the state's voting on Tuesday. Well, for more political coverage coming your way every Sunday morning on 4029, you can catch Matter of Fact with Fernando Espuelas at 10 a.m. That airs right after This Week with George Stephanopoulos.
A new program at Lincoln High School is helping kids through social media, and it's all thanks to the community. 4029's Gina Lee introduces us now to a Bright Future program, new at 5.
The program calls for the community to step up on Facebook, and so far they say it's helped more than 500 local kids in one school district.
I don't think we've ever had a need that hasn't been met within 24 hours. We can post on there that we have a student needs a pair of shoes, and it's met immediately, and sometimes more than one person supplies the shoes, so we get to use the other pair of shoes.
Courtney Cox is a board member with Bright Futures in Lincoln. She says the school district has a 70% poverty rate. Bright Futures helps kids in school by getting community members involved.
It's just this community is really rallied together and utilize the Facebook page and the word of mouth.
Many times teachers or nurses will reach out to Bright Futures to tell them about the needs of the students. Then the group heads to Facebook to request the community's help. They ask for specific items.
Shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, toothbrushes, deodorant, and then backpacks for the beginning of the school year. And then we do shirts, shoes, socks, underwear, really groceries, jackets, gloves, hats.
The program also helps hungry kids in the district.
We supply the lunches, and then we also do snack packs. We send them home with snacks and food for when they get home. And that's really a big deal here, to make sure they are fed when they leave school.
Bright Futures started at Lincoln July 2005. Prairie Grove also has a Bright Futures program. UNLE 4029 News.
And Bright Futures hopes to expand in the future.
Well, tonight, a new plan to help some new families pay for the rising cost of raising kids. Next, how diapers factor into the equation. Plus, the Royals, William and Kate, take on a new mission, their impact on suicide.
Look now at your Get Ready traffic tonight. We're watching spotty congestion on Interstate 49 in northwest Arkansas. On our maps, we've seen southbound traffic from Rogers to Fayetteville being slow. And this is a live look outside at the interstate tonight. Take some patience with you as you head out the door.
Live, local, late breaking. You're watching 4029 News at 5 with Kelly Johnson, Daniel Armbruster, and Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee.
Breaking news in the race for the White House. A ruling in Ohio will add voters to Tuesday's primary. 9 teenagers sued over their right to vote, saying that they should be allowed to vote in the primary, though they aren't 18 quite yet. They would be by the time of the November election. Now, this is in opposition to the Secretary of State there, who says the voters should, the delegates shouldn't count these voters. He's now appealing to the state Supreme Court. That hearing is expected on Tuesday, primary day. Kelly?
Oh, okay, Craig. Well, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are shining a bright light on suicide prevention. The royal couple is making mental health a focus of their efforts. Take a look. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, fresh off their vacation on the French slopes, are stepping up their game.
I think from now on we're going to see William, Kate and Harry carry out quite a lot of public engagements, and one of the things that they're really keen to focus on is mental health.
This week, William and Kate attended 2 charity events. The first, an emotional meeting with mental health patients on suicide prevention, even chatting with a man who attempted suicide and was saved by a stranger. Next, a talk with school kids inside Kensington Palace.
A lot of people who've met the royals have said to me afterwards, I was really embarrassed about my problems, but then William and Kate, told me not to be ashamed, and I felt that it was okay. And I think that they really can make a big difference there.
The royals making mental health an issue near to their hearts. William, Kate, and Harry putting the taboo subject high on their agenda. Kate recently turned a room inside of Kensington Palace into a makeshift newsroom, editing the Huffington Post UK for one day, commissioning a number of articles and blogs on mental health. And William and Kate are going to be packing in as many of those events as they can before they jet off on a royal tour to India next month. And by the way, if you need help, it's only a text away. You can text 741-741 to chat with trained crisis counselors.
Well, tonight we want to remind you about a special 2020 your family can't afford to miss. David Muir and ABC News investigating the rise of heroin use in America. The drug has been a part of the illegal drug fight for decades, but now that fight is hitting everyday neighborhoods like yours. It all begins with prescription drug abuse. Teens are then overdosing. People have become so addicted they can't get off opioids, and they use needles. They're showing up like litter in the park.
You've got families calling you saying there are needles at the park, needles on the Little League field.
Yep.
You can see the full report tonight on a special 2020 Breaking Point Heroin in America. Starts tonight at 9 o'clock right here on 4029.
Well, about 1 in 3 families in the U.S. are struggling to pay for diapers, and that's why the White House is calling its new solution necessary. At the end of this month, it's launching a program that allows low-income families to buy diapers for 25 cents cheaper than what's on the shelves.
Nestle voluntarily recalling millions of boxes of DiGiorno, Lean Cuisine, and Stouffer's products. Nestle USA is recalling roughly 3 million boxes of DiGiorno, Lean Cuisine, Stouffer's products containing spinach. The company says the 14 recalled products could contain small pieces of glass. No injuries have been reported so far. Well, CVS Health continues its fight against smoking. CVS will spend some $50 million over 5 years on an anti-smoking campaign with a particular emphasis on young people. It'll be the first campaign. It'll work to form the first tobacco-free generation of Americans, they hope. The push comes more than a year after CVS stopped selling cigarettes and its latest effort to boost its image as a healthcare-focused company.
State of Oklahoma is getting closer to banning what has become known as revenge porn. That's posting inappropriate pictures of someone publicly without their permission. The state Senate has just cleared a bill that would make it a crime. The first offense would earn you a misdemeanor, the second a felony. Now the House will take it up.
Authorities say 13 bald eagles found dead in Maryland died at the hands of a human. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service officials say the test ruled out environmental causes of disease. Someone found the eagles last month on a farm field. Bald eagles are protected under a federal act, and killing one could land you in prison for 2 years, or you could have to pay $250,000 in fines.
A girl from Indiana is recovering tonight after a police canine bit her. The
kennel. He feels he locked the kennel. So what happened in this particular incident, don't know.
The dog's name is Bronco. He and his handler lived 2 doors down from the teenage girl who was bit. She said she was familiar with Bronco, and the whole thing started as what was a friendly encounter, but when she tried to get on her school bus, Bronco tackled her. She wasn't hurt seriously, just some scratches and bruises. The dog's handler isn't sure how he got out of his kennel. The PD is paying for the girl's medical bills. Her family is not taking any legal action.
Police in New Mexico are searching for 2 convicted criminals after they escaped from a prison transport van. The men were last seen on surveillance video Wednesday night wearing plain clothes in the lobby of an Albuquerque hotel. The video was timestamped just hours after their escape. One of the men is serving a life sentence for murder, the second serving time for armed robbery.
Today marks 5 years since that Fukushima earthquake and tsunami that killed thousands along Japan's northeast coast. 18,000 people were killed, some 2,500 never found. The Fukushima nuclear reactor was damaged, causing a reactor fuel meltdown, if you remember. And to this day, much of the coastline there is still empty.
I cannot believe it's been 5 years already. Well, a beautiful weekend ahead, but there are a few chances of rain, even a storm. Next, 4029 Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee shows us our weekend weather.
Never miss a story on the 4029 News app with late-breaking alerts, live and on-demand newscasts, accurate and dependable forecasts, plus local reports that matter to you. The 4029 News app. Download today. Guys, our week's going to come to a close kind of the same way it's been all week, gray and rainy, but we will see the sun again and some much warmer weather. 4029 Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee here now with the 7-day.
Yeah, 80s in the forecast for some of us. We'll show you when that's going to show up. Not this weekend. We're going to see more of the clouds, more spotty showers and thunder showers, but temperatures will still go up a little bit, at least compared to today. Take a look at our radar. You can see those sprinkles and showers moving back into the river valley after a little bit of a break in the action. Same thing for us in northwest Arkansas. Dry for the last couple of hours, but more spotty sprinkles moving in later tonight. And that storm system that's been bringing up clouds, the chances of showers the last couple of days still spinning over southern Texas, and going to continue to do so as it slowly moves north over the next couple of days. Right now,